A brand new roller coaster for 2027 has just been topped off, and it looks ridiculous because not only does it have an extremely long upside down stall launch, but now an almost 400-foot tall outer banked helix in the air. How on earth does one create that? Alongside that, yet another major new coaster has just been topped off as well, and another has had an extremely long upside down stall installed. This time though, not a launch. Wow, so much has been going on because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to the weekly news series where no one, including me, knows what day it's going to be uploaded. This past week in theme parks, where we basically go through theme park news and do exactly what it says on the tin. And as per usual, there is a lot of exciting news, so be sure you watch till the end. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss future episodes of this series and future exciting content coming very soon. Sorry, don't know why that was glitching there. Welcome back! You're just in time because we're about to get into the news. And today, as much as we don't necessarily need this segment coming up, I'm going to do it anyway because I know war will break out if I don't. Welcome to the quickfire news segment. Let's go through this news quickly. Starting in Europe, where technically this is happening in America, but it's in Europe, so whatever. We have first images of fabrication happening. It's not just some random iron and steel works. This is the track for the future Loop Garou RMC coming to Walibi, Belgium in 2028. So if we get any more images of that, we'll see the part where it does go round that dive loop and it goes. We'll just see the fabricated track doing this. I'm excited for that to further progress, as I am for the brand new Parc Asterix Park coming to Germany. But I thought Parc Asterix was in France. Why is it in Germany? No, not anymore. It's not just in France, because they have broken ground with their 2027 project, including a Gerstlauer family roller coaster at the park, and I can show you an exclusive concept art right now. Why are you still looking at me? Oh, look at that. It's so lovely. All the Greek buildings. It reminds me a little bit of Pegasus Express and that Greek area at the France park. But wow. Oh, it also reminds me of Isle of Discovery, my theme park I made. They've copied me. All in all, Polycalo. That was supposed to mean very good in Greek. Going up towards Denmark now, to Desert Summerland, where they have just announced a brand new Raptor. No. It's an Intamin hot racer with a small look at the train they're going to be using, the sort of back of it, this little teaser. I'm not even going to try and pronounce what it says. I can read 2027, but it appears a new Viking land will arise in 2027. What's this now? Like the 17th Viking land in the past 5 years. I mean, it's got a very different ride to the rest of them, so I'm happy. as I am also happy hearing some rumours coming out of Efteling in the Netherlands, because it appears that the park is now interested in a brand new concept that Vekoma have been pushing recently, called the Vekoma Glider roller coaster. Now, obviously, Vekoma have their sit-down variant coasters like this. You can't really see me, can you? And they also have their flying roller coasters where you sit like this. Well, the Vekoma Glider from the concept seems to be that sort of mid-range. You know, like the motorbike coasters. I'm not going to sit on a motorbike. That would be cool at Efteling. I'd be very intrigued to see how they pull that off if they do go forward with it. And it would be a bit of better news for that park, considering Joris, their two wooden roller coasters that recently was Titan tracked, has cracks in the steel rails. Just Titan Track being Titan Track. Keep woodies how they're supposed to be. I did enough flying when I spoke about that Vekoma flying coaster, so we're just going to stand and wait to transfer over to the UK. Because at Legoland Windsor, Viking River Splash, their old River Rapids ride, where the water had this awful green colour to it, that seems to have now been completely flattened, ready to make way for their replacement, which they did talk about the other month. And if you want to go and find out about that, then please do at the end of this video, because it's a pretty cool little spinning roller coaster. Mental to me how quickly they moved on with that, and also mental to me how quickly people started speculating about this that appeared at Alton Towers. From the Department of Heritage for the attention of the curator. What could this be? Now, first of all, who is the curator? This is the first time we've seen that name and no one wants to say it's them. So I'll do it for them. I am the curator of Alton Towers. I've seen people realistically say this could be for Scarefest, it could be for a museum. I've also seen people say it's for Project Horizon or a new roller coaster. A whole roller coaster in the towers. Bring back the corkscrew within them. I have no idea. We will see with that one. I'll update you when we find out, so subscribe so you don't miss that update. A brand new theme park that has just opened in the UK. And you might be like, oh my god, how have we not heard about this? It's a brand new theme park. How many rides does it have? How many roller coasters? It has 0. Does it not have a wacky worm? Does it not have a little spinning coaster like this? No. 0. Because this is an actual themed park where they have loads of shows and interactive stuff that you go to the park to watch, and it just looks insanely unique to anything else we have here in the UK until Puy de Fou opens in Bicester in a couple years' time, because that's pretty much the same thing, but there we go. Looking nice as we then go over to the USA, where we have a very varied set of news stories. Starting at Disneyland in California, they have just had their 1 billionth visitor. That is an insanely cool milestone to hit, and fair play to whoever counted for that, because I know I wouldn't have counted that long. If you remember last week, there was some very sad news from Arieforce 1 and Fun Spot. I'm crying still because their huge world-class RMC roller coaster is going to close with the rest of the park very, very soon. And everyone, including myself, was sat there going, oh, it'd be amazing to see it moved, but no, they can't move it. The terrain's too, I was about to say lumpy. Why are you explaining terrain as lumpy? It would be impossible to move. RMC have proved us all wrong, as Rocky Mountain Construction responded with a statement about the future of Arieforce 1, saying, the coaster is definitely movable. Short and to the point, but hopefully it does get moved to another park in the future. I know a good plot it could go in. It could go here at Six Flags Over Georgia. It's a little bit of a small site, but if you squish it in, it could fit. But that is actually where the old Kid Flash coasters used to be. If you don't know, a couple weeks ago, I announced the fact they were being removed after closing, after less than a year operating. And now they've been fully wiped out with the queue line station and just, I guess, the car park of an area still sat there. So hopefully we see another coaster go in its place. Like Arieforce 1, guys. It can happen, I promise you. Even the pigeon outside says it. He's moved with me now. He's moved over. Hello. How are you? Oh, sod you then. Although with that being removed at Six Flags Over Georgia, it's not the only ride that's currently going through some issues, because you might remember this thing right here, Georgia Gold Rusher, an Intamin pipeline coaster, I think it was called, where it literally just went through the station and a little hill and just went up and then did the same thing backwards and went up and then... Well, that's also had its fair share of issues, and they have just announced recently that to improve the ride's performance, availability, reliability, the manufacturer will be making enhancements to the ride vehicle, so unfortunately, it will not be complete until the 2027 season, thus meaning it will be closed for the rest of the year. Not that it opened anyway. Not looking good for Georgia Gold Rusher, much like Tormenta's Rampaging run has been delayed over at Six Flags Over Texas. The huge Giga dive coaster that got delayed last week, and now some potentially illegal POVs, I don't know if they were allowed to film it or not, they've been released on TikTok of people actually riding the thing, and the drop looks insane. It's just certain parts of the ride, especially the transitions out of some of the elements, look in typical B&M fashion, very rattly and rough. Don't know why I expected any different. Moving quickly to Canada for an update up there on a brand new Vekoma launch coaster that's coming to Galaxyland, that's replacing the legendary roller coaster Mindbender. And we have an image of it right here. All they've pretty much put up so far is a launch and one of the elements, and my god, look at that stall inversion. And supposedly the reason why part of it is green and the rest is orange is because it's going to have a family and thrill setting on it, meaning it won't go through that inversion on the family setting, I assume. But I like it, and I like how long that stall is because it looks insane. Talking to new coasters as well, Holiday World have finally announced their big new roller coaster, and it isn't quite what we were expecting, because they said they weren't going to make a Macri out of this. They won't be rocking the boat, or they've rocked a boat, I don't know what they said. So we all put two and two together and thought, oh, it's going to be a Mack rocking boat. Well, we were wrong, because it's actually a $22 million water coaster. And as much as the animation shows it quite nicely, I've got the full layout plan for you right here. And as you can see, we've got a nice water section at the start, a lift hill, a nice drop, banking round very low to the ground, And then it goes straight into that splashdown after only a couple of hills. A lot shorter of a layout than I thought, especially for $22 million. But I'm sure it will be a great ride nonetheless. We love a bit of water, don't we? But we also love fire. Because once again, a fire broke out at Walt Disney World. I literally said last time there was a fire at their on-site hotels, and now there's a fire in the parks over at It's a Small World, their water boat ride. Just take all the water out and dump it all on it. Valhalla water on Grand National type B. Why does everything keep setting on fire over there? But talking of the competitor to Walt Disney World, Universal Studios Orlando, they have just finished topping off the brand new Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift roller coaster. Not to be confused with Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift in Hollywood. I feel like I have to make that joke every time. A huge spike on the ride, meaning we will see a swing launch and switch track on this, has just been completed with flags at the top of the track, and it's a twisted spike as well that goes up into this really nice twist. And yeah, that is going to be an awesome element, especially when it's drifting on the back or front row of the ride, depending on which side goes up first. So to see that topped off already is a very good sign, and hopefully we'll see that open at some point early next year. As I hope we see open the brand new ride coming to Six Flags Great Adventure that has already been delayed 1 year. And looking at Georgia Gold Rusher, you never know if it's actually going to last the entire year when it opens. Project Purple, the replacement to Kingda Car, the once world's tallest roller coaster that had the same treatment as if you held up a Lego set and dropped it. And we have slowly seen this coaster come to life with the footers going in the ground and then some track appearing. This huge launch track into what seemed to be an upside down stall inversion that then appeared to have launched LSMs running all along upside down on it and then out of that inversion. And it seemed to then go up really tall into what felt like a massive spire, maybe like a phantom spire. And construction images have been surfacing more and more recently when this spike has been getting more gargantuan, more vertical, more vengeance, and it has kept going up, and now it has reached the peak. And much like Fast and Furious, has actually been topped off as well, because after experiencing that very high speed launch into the upside down stall launch, all of that while spinning around on this Mack Extreme spinning coaster, you'll head into another launch going up this spike all the way up, pretty much vertical, and heads up to the top of the 382 feet spire and does an outer bank round back over itself, and then it has a flat piece of track rather than the tri-track going out as the end of the spike. And I know tons of people are going to sit there and say that, oh, it's a waste of money, it will never replace Kingda Car, it's not going to be a people eater. No, it's purple. It's a purple eater. I am purple. But I just think we can't rule out the fact that this ride is going to be such an insane experience. Because, I mean, it would be an insane experience had it just been a normal standard train just going straight up and then straight backwards. But the fact you're going to be spinning, potentially going through that stall and this entire spike, sideways, backwards, forwards, whatever, I think it's going to be insane. And now that's been topped off when we see the full layout complete and everything perfectly attached, we should then see that start testing. And I think that's going to also be an insane milestone for this ride, and I will keep you updated, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of this series coming at you every week. Leave a comment below of what your favourite news story was this week, and considering we've spoken about quite a few world-class roller coasters today, go and check out my World Cup of roller coasters, where I put different countries and their best roller coasters up against each other. Who will win? Go give it a watch. That was a fun video, so go and watch it.